In history, there are stories that touch our hearts deeply. These stories are not just tales of the past, but they resonate with us even today. They remind us of the strength of the human spirit and the power of faith. After Jesus died on the cross, his disciples traveled the world, sharing his message. They journeyed through ancient roads, faced numerous challenges, and spread the teachings of love, compassion, and forgiveness. Their mission was not an easy one, but they were driven by an unwavering belief in the message they carried. It was a message that challenged powerful people and gave hope to those who were struggling. The disciples faced opposition from rulers and authorities who felt threatened by their growing influence, yet they continued to preach, bringing comfort and hope to the common people in marketplaces and homes. This is the story of how Jesus' disciples died for their beliefs. They faced persecution, imprisonment, and even execution. Their unwavering faith and dedication to their mission serve as a testament to their strength and conviction. These somber moments in history remind us of the sacrifices made in the name of faith. It shows us how strong their faith was. Through their prayers, acts of devotion, and the establishment of places of worship, the disciples left a lasting legacy. Their faith was not just in words, but in actions that continue to inspire millions around the world. Join me as we learn about the lives and deaths of these amazing men. We will explore their journeys, understand their struggles, and appreciate the profound impact they had on the world. Their stories are a testament to the enduring power of faith and the human spirit. Peter, the fisherman, loved and followed Jesus. He was one of the first disciples called by Jesus, leaving his nets and livelihood behind to follow him. Peter witnessed many miracles, from the calming of the storm to the feeding of the 5,000. He was present at the Transfiguration and even walked on water, albeit briefly, when Jesus called him. Peter's journey with Jesus was filled with moments of profound faith and human weakness. He said he would never deny knowing Jesus, but he did 3 times. This happened on the night Jesus was arrested. Peter's fear and confusion led him to deny his association with Jesus to protect himself. Each denial weighed heavily on him, and when the rooster crowed, he remembered Jesus' prediction and wept bitterly. This moment marked a significant low point in Peter's life, filled with regret and sorrow. Peter felt very sorry. He went back to Jesus. His faith grew strong again, and he became a leader in the early church. After Jesus' resurrection, Peter was restored by Jesus during a poignant conversation by the Sea of Galilee. Jesus asked Peter 3 times if he loved him, mirroring the 3 denials, and each time Peter affirmed his love. This reinstatement empowered Peter to take on a pivotal role in spreading the gospel. The Romans, afraid of Peter's influence, sentenced him to death. Peter's bold preaching and miraculous acts, such as healing the sick, drew many to the new faith, which threatened the established order. The Roman authorities saw him as a significant threat to their power and the stability of the empire. Despite the danger, Peter continued to preach and lead the early Christians with unwavering courage. Peter asked to be crucified upside down. He felt he wasn't good enough to die the same way as Jesus. This request was a profound expression of his humility and reverence for Jesus. Peter's crucifixion was a testament to his deep faith and his belief in the message of Christ. Even in his final moments, he sought to honor Jesus in a unique and personal way. Even as he died, Peter's faith stayed strong. His martyrdom inspired countless others to hold fast to their faith in the face of persecution. Peter's legacy as a pillar of the early church and a devoted follower of Jesus continues to be remembered and revered by Christians around the world. His life and death serve as a powerful reminder of the strength and resilience of true faith. Andrew, Peter's brother, was the first disciple to follow Jesus. He traveled to Greece and preached boldly about Jesus. He was arrested and sentenced to die on a cross shaped like an X. For 2 long days, Andrew hung on the cross, but his spirit stayed strong. Even in pain, he comforted the people watching him. James, the son of Zebedee, had very strong faith. King Herod Agrippa I noticed how boldly James preached. Herod, worried about James's growing influence, had him arrested. James stood tall, his faith unshaken. James was quickly beheaded, but his death only made Christianity stronger. John, the youngest disciple, was the one Jesus loved. He was known for his gentle spirit and deep understanding of Jesus' teachings. Among the 12, he held a special place in Jesus' heart, often referred to as the beloved disciple. John didn't die for his faith like the others. While many of his fellow disciples faced martyrdom, John endured a different kind of suffering. The early Christians faced severe persecution under Roman rule, and John was no exception. Instead, he was persecuted and sent away to the island of Patmos. This remote island, with its rugged terrain and isolation, became his place of exile. It was a harsh and desolate place, far removed from the bustling cities and communities he once knew. He was lonely and faced hardship. The isolation weighed heavily on him, and the physical conditions were tough. Yet in this solitude, John found a deeper connection with his faith. The quiet and desolation allowed him to reflect and pray more intensely. But on that lonely island, John grew closer to God. His prayers became more fervent and his meditations more profound. The natural beauty of Patmos, despite its harshness, provided a backdrop for his spiritual growth. He saw visions of the future, of good winning over evil. These revelations were powerful and vivid, offering hope and encouragement. They were later recorded in the book of Revelation, a testament to his prophetic insights. His words, full of love and kindness, comforted those who were persecuted. Even in exile, his messages reached the early Christian communities, providing them with strength and hope. His teachings emphasized love, compassion, and resilience. John's faith, tested by hardship, became even stronger. The trials he faced only deepened his commitment and resolve. His unwavering faith and profound insights continue to inspire believers around the world, reminding us of the power of perseverance and devotion. Philip was a quiet, strong disciple who cared for those who were often ignored. He traveled to Phrygia, where people didn't accept Jesus' message. But Philip kept preaching. His words were like seeds planted in good soil. His message of love and forgiveness touched people's hearts. But his success made powerful people angry, and they killed him. Philip's strong faith, even when facing death, is inspiring. Bartholomew, also called Nathanael, searched for truth before he met Jesus. Meeting Jesus made his faith strong. He preached in Armenia, where people resisted the message of Jesus. But Bartholomew preached with strong belief. Powerful people were angry and killed him. Bartholomew's story shows the power of strong belief. Matthew, the tax collector, left everything he owned to follow Jesus. He changed completely. Feeling a power he'd never known, he wrote a book about Jesus' life, showing how faith can change people. He went to Ethiopia and shared the message of God's love. He spoke of a God who loves everyone, everywhere. Matthew's story shows how faith can change us. Thomas the doubter needed to see Jesus' wounds to believe. He traveled to India, sharing the message of Jesus. He spoke of a God who is beyond our understanding, a God of love and compassion. His words gave people hope. But his success angered some people. Thomas's story shows how doubt can turn into strong faith. James the Less, Jesus' brother, is often forgotten. He became a leader of the early church in Jerusalem, leading with humility and compassion. James preached about loving everyone, no matter who they were. This angered powerful people who threw him from the temple. James's story reminds us to be brave and speak the truth. Thaddeus, also called Jude, wanted to know God better. He went to Persia, spreading the message of hope. His message helped people who were searching for answers, but his success angered some. Thaddeus' story shows the power of quiet faith. Simon the Zealot, once full of anger, was changed by Jesus. He spread the message of peace. He traveled to Persia, where people wanted freedom. Simon's message of hope gave them a new way to find freedom. His words gave hope to those who wanted justice. Simon's story reminds us of the power of love. Judas Iscariot betrayed Jesus. The Bible tells us Judas struggled with greed and doubt. Judas's actions changed history forever. He felt terrible for what he did. He tried to give back the money he was paid to betray Jesus. Feeling hopeless, Judas took his own life. His story warns us about the dangers of greed. The stories of Jesus' disciples, men who knew Jesus, are powerful. They remind us that faith is not just believing, but acting, even when it's hard. These men faced danger, jail, and death with courage. They changed many lives and spread their faith far and wide. Their stories make us think about our own beliefs and what we would sacrifice for them. If you enjoyed this video, please subscribe to our channel.